Seriously, please. Don't tell me that Meghan doesn't want to go back. There are reporters who are saying that. I'm going to pretend that I never want to go back to that country. I'm going to pretend that I don't want to go back there. But I'm going to push Prince Harry the same way that I've pushed him to do what I needed him to do. And still, my life is not a success. So I'm going to push him back to make it seem like, well, if he wanted me to go back, even though I don't want to go back, I'll just have to go back. How hard can it be to go back to the royals and be a working royal as if I don't want to do that? And they want to do it now before, God forbid, something happens to King Charles. I mean, he's sick. He's with cancer, you know? Because I understand from other articles, I don't know if it's in this one, Prince William, there was an article that was written just a few days ago where Prince William supposedly doesn't even want to hear the name of his brother being talked about in his presence. He doesn't want to. So I think that he was frustrated by the reception that King Charles gave Prince Harry when he went back to England. Hi, everybody. My name is Mihaela. My channel is called Acts with Mihaela. Moi. Acts. Doesn't it seem that nowadays everybody's acting? YouTubers, politicians, entertainers, which is obvious. But I'm talking mostly about the people who are not entertainers, actors, comedians, the ones that we would think, yes, of course they're acting, of course they do act. I'm saying nowadays there's so much content that is being provided without needing to have the studios involved. You can just gather the courage and have your entertaining act on a YouTube channel or Instagram or TikTok or all these social platforms. So I feel that we are better off the more we know how to come up with entertaining acts. Like I said, not just in acting, but in every other field. I was watching I'm catching myself do I become self-aware of the things that I'm doing so I can correct them. I teach acting for those of you who don't know. I have been watching what is going on in the world, and I think the world is in such a chaos, not just in America, but everywhere. And maybe it has to do with a history of injustice when it comes to talented people not being appreciated. And this is only my opinion. This is what I believe. I believe that if more acting were taught to more people would be able to develop a more complex, critical thinking about the world, about each other. And I do not think that we would be so divided. I've been trying to say this for as far as I can remember. I don't have such a great memory now, but I do. As far as I can remember, I've been trying to say that. I believe that acting has all the tools. It has more tools than any other subject that would teach us to be able to better understand each other, no matter the differences that we all have. I'm not saying in all the cases, but I think the majority of people who are given the opportunities over and over and over again, I'm talking about acting, are the ones who are not as talented as the others who have more talent, but the big studios or the people in charge who could offer them platforms to be able to do something with, those people never get to have those platforms because the same less talented people are the ones that are being offered those jobs. The reason why I'm saying that is because I'm trying to have an introduction into Prince Harry and Meghan, Duchess, Sussex, as she likes to be called. When you have a platform as they have, having to do with the royal family, where they could have done so much, they could have done so many extraordinary shows and movies and everything else. And they cannot because they don't have the talent. Yet they're still in the news, they're still being talked about, not in the real sense of the reality of what they've done, which is they have failed. Because in order to succeed, you must have some sort of talent. In my opinion, they don't have any talent. But I'm talking not just about them, I'm talking about people. I know people as an acting teacher, I know people who are actors. I've known people who are actors my entire life. There's a lot of them who are very talented, who deserve to have a platform. That's all they would need, to have a platform, because the talent is there, the work that they've done is all there. They're so ready to be able to entertain, and not only entertain, to get to that goal which I was talking about earlier when I said if people who are talented were given the correct platform that people with less talent are getting, those people would also be able to change the way that we in this crazy world feel about each other. That's what's lacking. I don't think that people understand that having differences or having flaws or disagreeing with each other, they're all parts of what makes acting as a craft, as an art, amazing. All of those things are accepted. In acting, we want to be different to portray a character. My character, if I were an actress, has to be different than the other character. The other character that's being portrayed by another actor would have to be different. So we can develop and build a conflict, have an argument in order to create a scene, in order to create a dramatic story for the audience to be able to watch. Different characters, different scenarios, revealing of the flaws each character has, creating an obstacle to overcome within ourselves, then with the other character, creating conflict, then developing the tactics or the different ways that we can attempt to solve that in order to achieve a goal and win. Those are all elements of what makes storytelling great. People are not aware of that. People are not even aware how important acting would be if only understood the way that it is supposed to be understood. We would understand ourselves so much better. The reason that doesn't happen is because people who would be able to show those things, some of them actors that I've worked with, actors that I've coached or have crossed paths with, they would be able to do that, but they don't get the platform that less talented people, such as Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, who don't have the talent, are getting. And they're getting the platform that other people would die for, and they would be able to unify the world and do great things. But it is given over and over again by People magazine, for example, where I found this article about Prince Harry, made a secret visit to another member of the royal family during his England trip, United Kingdom trip. Why is everybody still paying so much attention to this guy, to Prince Harry, who a couple of years ago said, I don't want to have anything to do with my country. I don't want anything to do with the institution, with the royal family, with my family, because I want to go and be free. I want to go with my precious, beautiful actress, Meghan, from the show Suits and from the show The Suitcase with Howie Mandel. We want to go to Hollywood. More specifically, we want to go to Montecito, and we want to take the Freedom Flight. Not only that, we want to become billionaires, because in their minds, probably they really thought that they were going to achieve that success. They really thought that they would achieve that success. I don't know how somebody can think that that would be a possibility. So now this article that I just found today, they're talking about Prince Harry in this magazine without taking into consideration all of the tactics that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and all of the acts That's why I'm calling my channel now Acts with Mihaela, because acts doesn't just mean acts as in an act one or two or three in acting. Acts in politics, acts that we do in everyday life as people in general. We act, we must act, because we got to put on different public personas depending on the situations that we are in our everyday life. So I think Acts with Mihaela is a better title than the one that I had before. People's Magazine, they're talking about them as if they are forgetting everything that was done before. And they're not mentioning, to begin with, the reality, which is Prince Harry is now trying to mend his relationship with the royal family, with his family, because he hasn't succeeded. And all of the plans that his actress, so-called actress, Duchess, Sussex, Meghan, she wants to be called, has not been able to obtain or gain the status of the A-listers of Hollywood that she was so sure that she was going to be able to get due to marrying Prince Harry. She knew she wasn't going to get there before she met Prince Harry because she had tried to. And there's nothing wrong with trying. Many actors struggle and struggle and struggle and they don't make it. There are many actors that I've talked about who don't make it, who have tons of talent. She doesn't have tons of talent. She lacks talent. And she probably did not know that, or maybe she was trying to find other reasons to why she didn't make it as a great actress. For somebody who doesn't acknowledge reality the way that these two don't acknowledge reality, I don't think that she knew that she doesn't have talent. She probably thinks that she has tons of talent, but nobody wants her because of some outside forces and obstacles, her being the victim all the time. Prince Harry, he goes back to United Kingdom because he wants to get back into the royal family, like I said. But he thinks that the history that happened for the last 6 years or 5 years, I don't know, when they left the royal family, and they wanted to be free of them. And not only do they want to be free of them, but they disparaged them. They said horrible things. They revealed personal, vulgar, intimate moments that were so sacred between them as family members. Even in acting, when I ask my actors that I work with, the actors that I work with, to reveal their public solitude or private moment for actors, even the actors, when they have to reveal something of themselves to then be able to drop down deeper into their own experience of life to be able to bring it to the character, I tell them all the time, if you feel that it is too intimate for you to reveal with the rest of the actors or to speak it out loud, all you have to do is just whisper it for you to know it, whisper it in such a way that nobody around you in the cast will hear it, or go outside and say it to yourself out loud when you make sure that there's nobody to hear you. Even for actors, you have to know how to protect your own privacy, because if you don't protect it, then it might be something that you later regret for sharing. And that's not part of acting. Again, I go back to acting teaches you things about how to conduct yourself as a decent human being in life. It teaches you that. Hello, Libby Wilson. Thank you so much. It's so nice to hear, to see you, to see your text. I hope you're hearing me. I haven't even tested it, but I wanted to see if I can find a different background. I'm still figuring this out. So I was like, what am I going to talk about? And then I was watching, the whole President Trump and Melania Trump visit to the United Kingdom and all of the superb spectacle that King Charles and Princess Catherine and Prince William and Queen Camilla offered to the visit of the President of the United States and Melania Trump. And I was watching it, and everybody then was talking about Trump, and King Charles were given a speech. Donald Trump was given the speech that he did. And this has nothing to do with the politics. I'm not talking about that. But yeah, in politics, there are acts to be done. The better actor you are in politics, the more you will be able to brainwash the minds of people. The rest of the people do not have the fortune to be able to understand the tools of acting and how these actors, entertainers, and politicians can fool them because they know those tools. They have the privilege of knowing those tools. Yes, politicians are being taught, they're being trained. I don't want to say trained, but politicians and other people in high positions use acting coaches to teach them how to make something that they want to become available for the public and to become credible, how to do that. They're being trained in acting tools. Yeah. President Trump, one of the things that kind of made me go, whoa, when I was watching, he was praising King Charles and the way that he was received. But then when it came to Prince William, he went again to King Charles to say, you should be so proud of your son. You have an amazing son, Prince of Wales, Prince William. And then he went to turn to Princess Catherine, who was sitting next to President Trump. Such a beautiful Princess Catherine, healthy. He only acknowledged Prince William, made it sound like Prince William is the only son of King Charles. In the way that he said it without saying it, he made it sound like he was the only son of King Charles. And then Princess Catherine, seeing him probably flirting with Princess Catherine. I don't believe in all the other things that Trump talks about and all the things that he does. But that moment, I was like, bravo, somebody said it, because nobody seems to stand up to Prince Harry and Meghan. When they talk about, yes, Prince Harry is ready to go back to England, he wants his children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, to be schooled in England. Isn't that wonderful that he wants to go back and he wants to mend all of the negative things that happen between him, Meghan, and the royal family? Well, those things did not happen because of both sides. Nobody asked them to leave the royal family. They wanted to leave the royal family. But they're not saying in the article they want to go back because they haven't succeeded in Montecito, California. No matter what they try, they haven't done anything. They haven't succeeded. So they want to go back because now they realize that what they had, the platform that I was talking about in the beginning that was given to them, where they could have done so much with, they threw it away, believing that they are so extraordinarily talented that they can just become movie stars in Hollywood without any background training to get them there. So now they want to go back. But in People's Magazine, they don't say that. They just talk about one side of the story. Wouldn't it be nice? Isn't it nice that I'm paraphrasing. Isn't it nice that Prince Harry wants to go back? Oh, and then some other YouTubers were saying, Meghan doesn't want to go back. She wants nothing to do with England. No, no, no. Are you people crazy to believe that she doesn't want to go back after she's figured out that she can't do anything? Of course she wants to go back, but she's pushing Prince Harry to solve this and to make it happen. With King Charles, she's pushing him to go and use the vulnerability that King Charles as a father and also being sick with cancer, using again Lilibet and Archie to get Prince Harry to be able to get him back in. She doesn't want to be the one because she wants to keep fooling all of those supporters who believe in everything that she says and does, which is so obvious to me that it's so, so, so not true. Every time she writes an article, every time she speaks in an interview, every time she gets up on the stage, you can just see she's not credible. You don't have to be an Einstein to recognize somebody not being believable. What is wrong with people not having the understanding to be able to see that or to observe that, to recognize the difference between someone who tells credible stories and somebody who tells not credible stories? The problem is that they haven't taken acting to be able to observe those things. You're watching a movie. How are you able to distinguish between an actor who is fake and an actor who is actually so truthful in the character that he or she is portraying? Not a lot of people can, because they don't have the observations. They don't have the critical thinking that's required to be able to distinguish between the two. I can't wait until we can call William and Catherine king and queen. I know, me too, me too. That's why Prince Harry, I believe, is being pushed by Duchess Sussex from the back, as if to say, I'm not interested. I don't want to seem like the one recognizing that everything that I've done was a failure and I should have never done it. I don't want to take responsibility the same way she never takes responsibility. I also think that King Charles, as a father, he's thinking about, I probably don't want to spend the rest of the time that I have, or years. I hope he has another 30 years of life. He doesn't want to regret probably not having seen his son. I also think that he's smart enough to have done it for the public, for those people whom I say, how dare a father who's ill doesn't want to see his youngest son, Prince Harry, no matter what Prince Harry did, no matter that he wrote a book of 600 pages, no matter they did the Oprah interview, which nothing from that interview is now real and they're trying to walk it back. No matter, no matter, no matter. Prince William and Princess Catherine, I don't think they will ever want anything to do with these two. You hurt somebody when they're at their most vulnerable, that's being done with cruelty. That's being done with intentional cruelty. Prince Harry, Meghan did it to Queen Elizabeth before she died, to Princess Catherine. They did it to Queen Elizabeth's husband. They did it to everybody. When you do something knowing that those people are in the most vulnerable situation, they're sick, and you still do those interviews and you write the book and you do all of the shit that these two did, that's just my opinion. I still have free speech. I have the right to free speech still in America for as long as I have it, I hope. It's one thing to be cruel, but it's another thing to be deliberately cruel. That's in Streetcar Named Desire. I think Blanche says that to Stanley. I think they're trying to do all of this to get back in the grace of the family before Queen Catherine and King William will take power, and they're desperate. Desperate. It was Meghan Markle. She got on stage. Prince Harry was there first, and then Meghan comes on stage, and he's not paying attention because he's trying to come up with something smart, which he never has anything smart to say. So then she makes him aware of her being on stage by putting her hand on his back. He goes, "Oh, hi, 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 oh, hi, hi." Didn't even know how to react. Didn't even know what to do, what to say. So then, because there was nothing for her to do there, she decided to turn around and move off. She went backstage. She went off stage. I was like, what? What is she doing? She's going off stage. She probably wanted to be welcomed by everybody, and nobody applauded her because they already applauded Prince Harry being there first on the stage. So when she saw that nobody was giving her applause, there was no royal spectacle, royal parade. They're still trying to get attention. I think I'm so crazy bothered by it, because I think the world has come to the point where we're at right now, because these people are being given attention over and over and over again. For what? And they're being excused for all the things, for all the acts that they have done against their family. They're still the ones that are given the platform, not somebody who would probably have so much more to offer as talent goes, as skills go, as humanity goes. I thank you.